TechTV101.com.
Here we have the Xperia Neo, one of Sony Ericsson's new smartphones. Like most smartphones, you can swipe left and right to go through your apps. If we tap this button, you can sort them out in different ways. So we'll just go back to the home screen now. We also have the pinch to zoom feature, which collects all your media apps and puts them in one spot so you can pick which one you want. We'll tap the video player here and have a look at the video on the screen. The screen itself uses the Bravia mobile engine, creating bright, sharp images and fluid motion. So now we'll go to the camera by pressing the camera button on the right hand side of the phone. There is also the volume rocker button and lock key on the side of the phone. Headphone jack on top, HDMI out and USB port, nothing down this side, and a mic down the bottom of the phone. So if we go back to the camera, we can choose between camera and video with this button down the bottom here. The video is 720p video recording. You can also go through the gallery by tapping the images on the right hand side, swiping left and right to see your images. Now back to the home screen to check out the front facing camera. So by tapping this button, you can change between both cameras on the front of the phone and also on the back. And that is the Sony Ericsson Experia Neo. This is the Sony Ericsson Experia Arc. As you can see, we've got the three physical buttons along the bottom of the phone: back, home and menu. Light and proximity sensor and speaker. The screen itself is flush with the face of the phone, and this creates a very nice look overall. As you can see, the phone is extremely thin. We've got a headphone jack, lanyard hole, microphone hole, camera capture button, volume rocker, micro USB, HDMI output. Now to unlock the phone. It's a 4.3-inch screen with Bravia mobile engine technology. We've got the standard Sony Ericsson interface with your contacts, media widgets, and finally your app lists. Now one of the main selling points of this phone is its camera. We can launch the camera by hitting the camera button on the side of the phone. So even in these dim light conditions, we can see just how good the XMR sensor in this phone really is. We can then change over to the video capture function, which is 720 HD video recording, and again the sensor works extremely well in these low light conditions. So finally, just to highlight one more time just how thin this phone really is. The curved shape of the back of the phone actually sits really well in the hand, and this is it compared to a Desire HD. This is the Xperia Arc. So here's the phone a lot of people have been waiting for, and it is the Sony Ericsson Experia Play. We have the micro USB port on the side here, the headphone jack, there's no buttons along the bottom, we've got the left and right bumpers on this side, and the volume rocker in the middle. There's a 5 megapixel camera on the back with flash and noise cancellation microphone. On the front we've got the 4 buttons instead of the normal 3. We've got back, home, menu and search. So if we unlock the phone, we can see that this phone is running Android 2.3. We've got a standard Sony Ericsson user interface with different screens to the left and to the right. We can bring up our menu system with this button. And finally, your standard app windows. So now if we load a game up, we can show the main feature of this phone, and that is the slide out PlayStation controller. So we've got the usual buttons as you'd expect. There's the start, select and menu button along the bottom of the phone. There is also 2 optical trackpads so you control games such as first-person shooters with these. Holding the bumpers on the back, the phone sits very well in your hands. Here is some gameplay footage on the phone. The motion is extremely clean as the phone runs at 60 frames per second. The buttons are also very responsive and easy to use. So if we just quit out of this game and head back to the home screen. And there you have it, the Sony Ericsson Experia Play.
TechTV101.com